Welcome back to Unplugged with Buddyred. Let's get into it. All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Buddyred with my co-host Covington.
Hi, that's me. Hi, hello.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm so ready. Can you tell? This
And
is my
today we
ready
have a
voice.
special guest, Draze Force.
Hey.
Draze Force is an inspired musician, getting his roots from visual and audio of video games and rock music. He now creates his own music as Draze Force and has since spent the years crafting his own music into his own in the way of electronic music. Most recent EP he released was Phantom Volume 3, came out on February 9th, and it is a banger. If you've ever been in any of my streams or in the last, 2 weeks, that's probably all you've heard because that's all I've been playing. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Glad we were finally able to get this going. When I started this, I was like, the first person I'm going to have on is Draze because I gotta have somebody famous that I actually listen to all the time.
Well, I'm very honored. And when I first met my fiance, she already right off the bat was like introducing me to people. I was like, well, he's famous in Europe. So thank you for confirming that.
Yeah. So have you ever been recognized in public or recognized in areas of music?
No, I haven't. I haven't been recognized in areas of music as an artist or anything. I mean, in my hometown, they're like, "Hey, didn't I go to high school with you?" It's like, yeah, and then I just leave.
Nice.
That's the worst, isn't it? Like the hometown stuff. Like you have to go back and visit, and there's people from your high school who are like, "Hey, don't you make YouTube videos on YouTube?" And it's just, oh god, I hate it.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, well, you're a server at Arby's, so.
I mean, they got the meats, so.
And the beef.
That's true.
So you're also a producer, is that right?
Yeah, so it kind of goes hand in hand. I guess I can give you some background if that's cool.
Yeah.
So I actually went to college for music production. So that's kind of more like working in the studio, recording other artists, setting up the microphones, making them sound good, and all that stuff. And I've always made my own music, so that kind of just went hand in hand. So I kind of just use that knowledge to make my music sound better, and then also kind of learn better songwriting along the way.
Awesome. I mean, just to go off that, just want to give a little background of your history and stuff with all that.
Sure. So from a young age, my parents put me in piano lessons, and I absolutely hated it because I'd rather be playing Super Nintendo.
Well, as every kid would love to just be grinding the piano every day, all day.
Yeah, right. So I didn't like doing that, and then eventually I got into percussion and drums and stuff like that. So in middle school, they started me off on the trombone for band class, and then I was able to get into the percussion department, and then that's just where I was from middle school all the way to high school. And then I always just liked I always just made music in my free time, stuff like that. Before I even knew how to make music, I would just take Linkin Park songs and just cut parts out and put other parts in and stuff like that. So like a mashup, a really bad mashup. And then I just kind of just kept evolving and just kept learning how to do things. So now here I am dropping bangers for you to play on your streams.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I'm honestly I think I say this every time, but I actually really mean it. Every single EP drop is better than the last, and I actually enjoy more and more.
That's awesome.
It's really I don't listen to a lot of electronic music or EDM or anything like that typically day to day. So you alone are absolutely fucking up my Spotify. It is suggesting things. I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? Because it's German techno sometimes. I'm like, this is fun for a rave or a party, but not
Hey,
when
the
I'm
German
driving to
techno
work.
goes fucking hard, dude.
Oh, it does.
It can, yeah.
It comes on unexpected. You're like, damn, what the hell is that?
I should start targeting my music for like Germany or like Berlin or something like that. Just seeing just see like what happens.
The scene over there is interesting, to say the least. It's definitely very different from over here.
I mean, as you know, I don't know if Covington knows, but I moved to Portugal about a year ago now, because my fiance lives here, and even though it's just like a small country in Europe, it's so much different than the U.S.
Oh yeah,
Like not everything makes sense, but like it's definitely different in the fact where it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Why would we do things like that in the U.S.? That's stupid.
oh. We could go on a whole tangent on stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't want to get into politics though.
So another thing.
What's the local music scene like down there? Is there stuff like for you to do locally and parties and pubs and things like that, or?
Yeah, it definitely depends on the region. So the region that I actually do live in, though, there is kind of a bit of a music scene, especially during the summertime. So where I'm living, it's really popular in the summer. It's like all of Europe goes to the Algarve for the summertime. It's crazy. So they have lots of DJs that will just be like just playing music in like cafes and stuff like that, and restaurants, and then after the summer's done, the DJs disappear. So yeah, there's a music industry that I would like to try to break into. I just haven't quite figured out how yet.
So have you done anything live yet, or has it just purely been just releases?
I did one live show back in like 2010, and it was it was so bad that it made me never want to do a live show ever again.
Oh man!
So this promoter had reached out to me on a website called Reverb Nation. I don't even know if it's even still a thing, but it's just like a social networking website for musicians and artists and stuff like that. And so they had reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, we want you to play this show. Would you be into it?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." So they gave me all the details and like all the other artists that were on the lineup, and I was like, "These are all rap artists." I was like, I don't fit here. I'm like, no, it's fine. Typically this type of music goes over really well with the rap and hip hop community. And like, I just turned like 18 back then. I was like, okay, all right, well, we'll see. Yeah. And so I go to this super sketchy, like loft part of a bar that Skrillex was playing the next week. So okay. I was on the top floor. Skrillex would have been on the very bottom floor the next week. So I got that going for me. And then it was just like, they just had these like gross couches upstairs and like just this like stage with these huge speakers on it. And so I was like, okay. So all these people got up, they did their thing. They did their bit. So I got up and I did my bit and everyone left. And then when I got done, everyone came back. And so I was like, all right.
Oh, man.
That sucks. That hurts. But that was before you really released anything, right?
I had an album out at the time. It's nothing like how the music is now. But I took that album down because it's so bad. But I put it in my demo vault. So if people do subscribe to my Discord, they can dig around in the demo vault and find the very old album called Silent Revolution.
Okay.
That's a cool way to do the community perks, I think. Like have vaulted stuff that they can go back and listen to that's not published. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out ways of like how I can make my community more fun in perks like that. So the demo vault is definitely one of the things. And then I have like just ideas that I write down where I'm like, okay, I'm going to revisit this in a few months and see if it still makes sense.
Discord is like super cool. For those who are interested, What's the URL for that?
I don't know. you can find it in my link tree. Just
Yeah.
link tree
Hey,
slash
editor person,
Draze Force.
can you please edit the Discord URL, please, editor? Thank you.
And the links
Don't
will be
worry,
down
we'll
below
get that in post. We got a
for
guy.
those. Yep. We got you.
Nice.
But yeah, if y'all are interested, join the Discord. It's a 1-day free trial, so if you don't like it, you got a day to figure it out. And it's only $4 a month, so it's really not that bad. And you get full access to all the stuff. You get work in progress, so you get to see what Draze is making and the demo vault, as he just explained. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the work in progress is pretty cool too. So like occasionally I'll put music in there. So for instance, like the whole journey of Phantom Power Volume 3. So the whole concept of the Phantom Power stuff is that it's stuff that I would make on stream. So if you were there for the stream, you'd get to hear the product at the very end. And then if you're subbed at the Discord, you not only get to continue to hear it, but then you get to hear how it evolves into the final version. So for instance, what's going to come to the demo vault soon is the demos, quote unquote, of Phantom Power Volume 3, which were the originals that were made on stream. Because, for instance, the first track on the new album, Wrong Address, sounded very different from when it was first written on Twitch or YouTube at that point to what it is now.
That's really cool. It's such a smart idea to do and really have people engage with it, because music can be such a non-engagement. I don't know how to word it, I guess, but there's a lot of ways to listen to music and not engage with the artist, but this is a super cool way to engage with you and see the process and stuff.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned in my musical career is that not everyone is going to care the way that you want them to, and that is okay. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, I probably only really care about maybe 3 artists, but I listen to hundreds.
Yeah, the example is if you're walking to the bus station or whatever, and you want to buy a candy bar from the vending machine, and there's an artist there playing his solo on the guitar. You just want the candy bar, you're like, okay, cool music, but yeah,
that's fair.
It's a traditionally one-sided thing, right? Music, kind of, just because of the disconnection between the consumer and the person making it. So that's understandable, but it is cool that you found a way that the ones that do want more of a connection or details to have that in a fairly straightforward way.
Definitely, and that's the goal. It's the people that they want to listen to it, they can, and that's great. But if you want to have the deeper connection with the music and the artist, the Discord is the place to do that.
Right. And Discord is way better than, I don't know if you do Patreon and stuff. Nothing against Patreon, but I always hate become a patron. It's dude, join a Discord. Thank God, because it's an app I already have on my computer. It's already open. I don't have to log in for extra shit. It's just there. So good choice on Discord, I think.
We did a Patreon a while back, and it was just kind of clunky to kind of describe it. And I was I kind of had to set up links that would point to other links and stuff, and it's just
it's just a facilitator. You can't really the community can't be there. I feel it just facilitates, like you said, linking a bunch of shit together as opposed to everybody gathering and actually being in the space.
I feel you got to be really hands-on with that app instead of Discord, where it's they're always building new features that kind of keep you hands off.
Yeah, Discord is definitely really stepped up the game the last 2 years really with all this stuff. I didn't realize how much there was until I was working on my own Discord just a couple days ago. Oh my god. Yeah.
Not to keep shouting out my server,
no, this
but
is all about you.
But on my server, I actually was able to get the server shop up and running too.
I saw that.
So just another way to support the music is you can just go buy the music straight from Discord.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Usually I put it up on Bandcamp and stuff like that, and that's cool. Some people know what Bandcamp is, but then they have to make an account and that's hard for some people and whatnot. But on the Discord, you just buy it from the Discord, and then you're good.
Yeah, which it's such a cool thing that you can do through Discord too. That probably a lot of people don't realize.
I think it's severely underused as a tool for creatives in general.
Oh, because there's even some games that you can buy through Discord.
Oh, are they still doing that, where you can like buy games and stuff?
I don't know if they still are, but I know I had in the past. Like Tim, like the Pokemon type game that released years ago. I had bought it through Discord, but like through the server when it was in like beta. And I actually don't know if it's a thing that you can still do or not.
I don't think it is. I remember they used to have that like game store, and they would like give free games and stuff, but I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it looking around now. It just says my library, and it just gives me the option of a single game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I never played any of the free games from Discord.
Oh, dude, the golf one. I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically like golf with your friends, but in Discord.
Oh yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, that one's cool.
That was fun.
A little frustrating.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, those are like built into like the voice calls, but like I downloaded like BioShock and like Soma and like Roller Coaster Tycoon and stuff like that from Discord, and I haven't played a single one of them. Oh shit, I have Saints Row 4 from Discord. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So news. Yeah, surprise.
Yeah, I don't see myself ever going to Discord to play. Like I'm all for new features and expanding shit, but I don't think games are it. There's already, there's Steam.
Steam,
why compete with Steam at this point?
Yeah. Might as well just try to make like a better like integration.
Yeah, they just need to focus on their own features, which the community, like the community features and the shop stuff, is really sick. It's cool. They should expand on
Definitely.
That. Also,
I think it's
I don't
really
know about
cool.
you guys. I don't know if you've like used Slack and stuff like in corporate environments, but I wish Discord would come out with like an enterprise version that was just a little bit slimmed down of all like the gaming stuff and use it for like enterprise. I would kill to use Discord.
I would push my department to use that so hard.
Or even like just something like they could just strip it down from all like the gamer shit and it would just be perfect. It would be awesome.
Yeah. I used it. I used Slack at one of my old jobs, and I was just like, this is just like a worse Discord.
Yeah, it's terrible. And they updated it like 6 months ago, and it's even worse now. They went all like modern UI, bubbly texture shit. Now you have to click 4 more times to get to one place layout type thing. Yeah, awful.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I have to use Teams at work, and
I'm just glad I don't have to use Teams.
Microsoft is just using Microsoft things every day. I'm like,
it's even worse than Slack. I'm so sorry.
I did use Teams at one point too, and I actually liked it better than Slack. But we were kind of using it on like a very small scale version. So like I just had to talk with like my department, 2 other departments, and my manager, and that was it. And I was like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah, to be fair, even Slack in that kind of setup with small people is not bad. But when you've got like 100 people or more, and you got like different departments, and you got to like click through messages and different rooms. Oh, God, it's so bad. I will say the integration with Teams is probably better, like calendar integrations and stuff like that. But just give us Discord, man.
Yeah, that would be super cool to have.
Mm-hmm.
I would even do that now from like if I was a business owner with employees. I would just use the regular disc because Slack's expensive. Like that shit ain't cheap. Some companies are paying like $60 to $80 a person per year for that. That's a crazy amount of money.
The money, the businesses that it's insane. Like how much money is just thrown away sometimes. And they're like, oh yeah.
I'm a business owner myself because you have to be as a independent. It's like the amount of money is like, okay, so you're actually a business. Okay, we're going to charge you 20% more because we can.
Yep.
And then you're going to have all these extra fees on top of it. But don't worry, you get to make these as deductions at the end of the year. So actually you're saving money. It's like, am I though?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
As a small company,
it works, but that's definitely enterprise speak for, hey, please pay for our premium software.
Right.
Yeah, that you won't use all the features for because
Yeah.
the free version will do just fine.
Always does. Just a little thing back on the Discord shop. According to Reddit, they posted some like screenshot. As of December 1st of 2021, they discontinued
Like
The games.
the game store. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, a while. Okay, that makes sense.
So I didn't even realize it was that long ago. I didn't feel like it was that long.
I vaguely remember seeing games like purchasable and downloadable. But
Yeah, and then it's just like one day just kind of disappeared. I was like, oh, I never thought a thing of it.
I wonder if like the new server store would be a good way for like game devs to sell like Steam keys now.
that's not a bad
Actually,
idea.
that'd be a really good idea. Especially like indie
Yeah,
devs stuff.
for sure.
That'd be really cool.
I wonder if Steam has regulations on publishers in place for like selling keys outside of the Steam marketplace.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
feel
go
like
to
that
like
would be some
you go to like
Steam
G2A, you can get a whole bunch of Steam keys for like $5.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's a good idea though. Yeah, I mean, I see even in the examples they give for it, music is obviously one of them. Channel roles, if you wanted to sell that, but there's so many integrations with Discord that you could just sell a role that gives you access to some other integration and sell pretty much anything.
Yeah, I actually used to sell a role for the demo vault as like a lifetime thing, but I stopped doing that because it just had low engagement.
Yeah, I was about to say. You also in your server shop, if you buy any of the albums, you get a special role for those as well.
Yeah, so I do have like a special role for each album. They don't do anything. They're just kind of like a flex. Like if you click on someone's profile, it's like, oh, I can see all the things that they own now. So kind of just like a flex on fans.
Yeah, I mean it's cool to see.
Yeah,
Oh, they even list like cosplay pics as a suggested product. How long until we have like an OnlyFans replacement in
Just say
Discord?
the same thing.
Subscribe to my Discord channel.
That could go so many different ways, dude.
Do you remember when Snap?
Snap?
Do you remember when Snap Premium was like the meme for that stuff, and then it's like
Oh yeah.
now it's like OF and stuff.
I don't know anything outside of Snapchat besides like I snap like 6 people and that's about it.
I gotta be honest, I haven't had Snapchat installed for probably 10 years or more.
Yeah, I
Probably.
uninstalled Snapchat like I don't know 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, you know what, this is actually kind of lame. So I just took it off my phone and just never opened it again.
It's a hookup app. It's what you give somebody
Is it though?
if you want to like,
Okay, so this
communicate.
is your
Like,
I don't want to
post-
give you my phone number
Yeah.
account to give out, I guess.
Like so like, you don't meet people over it, but like it's the hookup communication side of that.
Bro, they got free
Oh.
texting apps now. Just fucking
No,
Snapchat me. No, I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
but everybody,
There's
a
no
lot of
way.
people already have Snapchat. They're not gonna be like download my Kick. Or
No,
whatever.
just like, you can get like a free phone number now to text from them. Just a totally separate number. I would do that shit in a heartbeat. Here's my burner.
I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, true.
No.
You better not be giving out any burner numbers.
Only to you.
Oh.
So was the guy that you did Shadow Band with the first time you collabed with another artist?
No. So I've been collabing with artists for a long while now. But I think that was the first one that I actually released as like a featured artist. So I've actually done some mixing and remixes with him in the past. So they're buried somewhere on my Spotify page. If you scroll down far enough, I'm sure that you'll find it. But I've done collabs with another artist. He was my roommate in college. His name is Jacoby. But we haven't released anything, so that's all sitting in the demo vault too. So he does vocal stuff. He's kind of crazy at times, but it's a good time always. Cool. So I've collabed with Jacoby. I have other featured artists on some tracks in the demo vault as well that were previous albums that were taken down because it's just not the direction that I was going. So I just took down my old work. But yeah, so I've definitely collabed with a few people in the past, but Shadow Band is the most recent one. And it's awesome.
It was really good. It's one of those things like I don't know if I wasn't like super active online for a little bit, but it kind of just like came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh shit.
We had finished that song long before Phantom Power Volume 3 even came out.
Okay.
I did a pretty bad job of hyping it up. But because like I scheduled it for release, I was like, okay, cool. And then we went traveling for the holidays. And then next thing I know, I was like, oh shit, it comes out in like 3 days.
I mean, it happens. You get busy.
Yeah.
We just
like,
need,
oops.
just need to hire one of those media people to do everything for you.
Yeah.
When once you're all big and famous, you don't ever have to worry about it. You just get to make music.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Just like, hey, media person, this is going on. So just make it cool.
Got a month to make it exciting. Go at it.
With speak on like media promotion, for my my album Atlantico that came out, I was doing some MailChimp email marketing on that one. I don't know if that saw any like increased engagement or not. But I didn't get any unsubscribes, so that was cool.
That's important.
So yeah, just bombing people's like mailboxes with like, there's a new EP coming out. It's awesome.
I mean, if people are typically if people are subscribed to it, they're going to want to know those things as well. So
Yeah, that's true.
but you're also getting into the shorts side of social media with doing remixes of old video game things, like really what it seems like digging back to your roots.
Yeah, so most of these titles that I've done were games that I grew up playing. With a few like people being like, "Oh, you should redo this one or that one." I was like, "Okay, cool." But yeah, that's been super fun to like revisit those old tracks I remember playing on my old TV in the basement with my brother, being like, I'm so bad at video games. But my brother was like so much better than me. So it was fun to like revisit those old tracks and like remember, like, oh yeah, yep, I remember this, and then just like remake it and then post it.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying that. It's like just massive nostalgia trips, like every few days. It's just been a lot of fun. And that Pokemon Pal World mashup that you did,
I was just about to mention
actually
that.
so
It's
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that was the idea of my fiance. She was like, "You have to redo the Pal World music." I'm like, "I don't know what the Pal World music is," and she's like, "You're wasting time, and you're gonna miss out on the hype. You have to redo the Pal World music and match it up with Pokemon." Like, okay. So I spent the day like watching like YouTube videos and listening to the music and being like, okay. And then just like writing them, like this is the first time I actually had to like write out like the actual music for Pal World because there were no MIDI files for it.
Oh wow! Okay.
And
That's even more impressive.
yeah, so like
Especially in the amount of time that you did it. It was super fast.
yeah, I know I spent like 10 hours
Crazy.
just getting like the main theme of like hello Pal World and like the main opening title theme or like whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, the music is really nice for Pal World for sure, but it's like dang, I really wish there was a MIDI file. This would be so much faster.
Yeah, I was blown away at how fast he did, and it was also like not like it wasn't a short either because it was like 2 minutes long. Pretty sure.
Yeah, so like I was actually having a ton of fun with it, and I was like, all right, we'll just make like a video, and then I made the video, and then my fiance was like, no, we were supposed to make a short. I was like, oh, so then we just cut it down.
I don't know, there's something about it. Like, I feel like we could feel like how much fun you're having with it because it was just like so. It was just so well made and like enjoyable.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was definitely a ton of fun. So I'm glad that you're able to feel the fun that I had making it.
Yeah, I have like a list that I'm just like waiting to like drop in Discord to just bombard you with like a list of things I want to see made one day.
Do it.
Like
Yeah,
all the remixes.
definitely do it.
I mean, half of them you probably won't know because they're like niche, like weird ones. But
I'll just have to look it up. You know, my sister-in-law was like, you should redo a song from Hypnospace Outlaw. I'm like, don't know what that is. So I had to look it up, and I was like, okay. So this game's like super weird. And then I found a song, and I was like, all right, this one works.
nice. Have you got any questions?
I'm currently listening to a Legend of Zelda techno remix from Draze Force. Sorry, I got distracted. I was
Okay.
swiping. I was looking for Legend of Zelda specifically. Just because
Nice.
I feel like that's the first one people ask for probably all the time is like, can you make a Legend of Zelda remix? Legend of Zelda music is just cool.
It is. It's very cool. A while back, I did a remix for The Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time, but I lost the file. I can't find it.
No. Truly lost.
It is. It is really lost in the woods. But yeah, I can't find it. So hopefully it'll surface one of these days, and it'll go up on the demo vault or on a short. Who knows?
That'll be a cool story. Hey, this was actually lost for a period of time. Now here it is.
Yeah.
No. You also did the Wii Sports.
Oh God.
Sports Club remix.
Yeah, the Wii Sports Club. That one people actually like really liked.
Dude, anything like, especially because it was such a meme for a bit, and it's like everybody knows it. It's
Yeah.
such everybody recognized it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just scrolling through all your stuff, listening to all your shorts. We're not going to get anywhere with this podcast now.
Well, it's actually funny how meme songs like that can go really fucking hard when you just like add a cool beat to it, and you just listen to it and you're like, this shit was kind of whack when it came out, but this actually sounds cool.
Yeah.
Lots of music like that is just like little meme tracks.
You know,
Actually,
like never gonna give you up, right?
Yeah.
It's like the biggest meme song ever. Why? I don't really know. If you actually like listen to like the song, the lyrics, like, okay, it's actually like kind of a nice song. Like lyrically and like musically, like for the time period, it was probably a nice song. But today it's like the biggest meme in the world, and I still haven't quite figured out why. Maybe it's because I'm old. But like doing a remix of that song would probably go super hard.
I bet it does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I feel like I've heard a remix of that song. Probably, I mean, I'm sure there's probably tons of them, but like, I feel like I've heard one that was really good. And I also don't understand why it's a bad a meme song, because it's not that bad. Like,
Because of the internet. That's all. That's what
sometimes,
yeah.
and like if I'm singing in the shower or some shit, that is sometimes one of the songs that I'll like sing for a second. It's like it's not that bad. I don't understand. Maybe because it's just like a nerdy looking fucking white dude singing, and I don't know. I don't get it.
Maybe it's more of the video than the song. I don't know, because like yeah,
Maybe, yeah,
if you take away the video, the meme has no power.
that's true.
But then again, like
there's
when did
also
it become a
something
meme? Because that was like the 80s, you know?
Like,
Yeah, maybe it was a meme in the 80s.
Maybe. I feel like that. I feel like the crappy video and like the weird edits are like just pure 80s. Maybe not though. I don't know.
Like watching like MTV like late at night in the 80s, and you just hear like the like, ah, damn it, changing the channel.
I think that's just the best part about like getting rickrolled. It's just like watching something and you actually think it's a real video, and then all of a sudden you just hear the drums and you're like, God damn it!
Yeah,
You're like, yep, they got me.
I feel like this is a whole podcast conversation could be talked about why this song is considered a meme.
Oh yeah, I feel like we could half those things that we were already talking about. We could have an entire podcast about alone.
you could interview victims of the Rickroll meme. Be like,
We're all victims.
Do you think that's one of the most listened to songs in the world purely because of how many times people have been just rickrolled by accidentally clicking on? Because I feel like what you just said, we've all been rickrolled, is probably true.
you know, probably. I think it's probably to the point where like you could ask anyone like, have you heard this song before?
Right.
And they'd be like, yes.
And it would be one of the few they immediately know for sure that they actually heard. Just so recognizable.
Yeah. I don't have a Spotify. But I'm sure if you looked up on Spotify, if you looked up like the just like number of plays that song had, I'm sure it's probably in the billions.
It's got to be. It include, obviously including like all the however many YouTube and like backlink files there are on the internet and everything. It's kind of wild.
Never Gonna Give You Up has a daily of 409,000 plays.
Wow, on Spotify, that's a lot.
And has 789,673,699 streams.
Half a million a day is great.
Okay,
you said 400,000 a day.
Yeah,
that's insane. I didn't realize people listen to that song like that.
Yeah,
I wonder if those are. I wonder if those are Rickroll. Like, can you direct link to a Spotify?
But that's just purely actually listening to it on Spotify too.
Yeah, I think I've never heard it on Spotify. I've only heard it on YouTube and like random links and shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, I thought for sure it would be in the billions, but I was wrong. But I do know that
it's almost in the billions. It's only 200.
What about the YouTube video?
That's true.
That's good. Good point.
But at least the artist himself is like, I don't get why it's a meme, but it's cool.
He's making money off it. So there's
no the official one has 1.5 billion views.
He loves it.
I mean, 1.5 billion views on YouTube. How much money that's millions alone just off that video, probably.
It's been up for 14 years, so he's been through just about every single period of YouTube advertising that has ever existed. So probably a very wide range of revenue from this one. That's cool though. Jesus Christ, 1.5 billion. That's crazy.
That is wild.
Not to mention all the other videos that each have like 10 million views. Lyric video, definitely one of the most listened to songs ever.
Oh, he's still making music.
I think so.
He just released Forevermore official music video. Huh. I honestly thought he was just like chilling.
He appeared at a concert or something a couple years ago, I thought, where he sang that or performed part of that song or something.
He's still performing, but I didn't think he was still like releasing things.
Yeah, I mean, people are obviously going to his shows, so I mean, they don't entirely hate him.
This is true. Yeah, I kind of didn't realize, I guess, that he's still doing shit.
I mean, it's kind of like Nickelback too. Like everyone hates on Nickelback, and it's okay to hate on them because they agree.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Yeah, one of the most self-aware artists I've ever seen.
Yeah. But they still tour and make music, and people come. So all right.
Hey, and we all listen to Nickelback at one point in our life. Okay, I don't want to hear any fucking deniers. All right.
Yep.
We've all put on a Nickelback song and been like, okay, you know what? This isn't that bad. We've all fucking done it.
I'm gonna be honest. I still listen to them every once in a while.
Yeah,
I put them on in the car on the way to church. Just rip that Nickelback.
That's not a very holy song, but
I guess there was a time where they had played here in Portugal. I'm probably going to butcher the story because I don't know everything about it, but like everyone had came to the show for a different artist, but Nickelback was like the opening act or something like that. And like no one was like having a good time, like you could see. And Nickelback was like, "Is anybody here a Nickelback fan?" And I guess someone like threw a beer bottle at them, and they're like, "All right, we're out."
Oh my god!
Imagine,
Jesus,
that's wild. And it's crazy too because especially like I mean everybody knows who they are, but like for them to still be like just kind of hated sometimes it's kind of weird.
It's strange because like you guys said, like I mean they're not like the worst thing in the world. Like I mean I've definitely heard worse, but like it's also not like the most enjoyable music either. But I mean if you're into that stuff, then it's cool.
I mean, they've obviously made it. Like they're living the life of rock stars. So
with 15 cars.
It is kind of weird how they got kind of targeted specifically. I wonder if it was just that genre at the time was less popular and they were just sacrificed as, hey, this is the group we're gonna choose to talk shit on now.
Probably. Because
Maybe,
that's
I don't
about
know.
like what us like in middle schoolish, like
early
high school,
late elementary schoolish time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the internet probably has something to do with that. Like one person on Reddit was like, "This band is terrible," and everyone's like, "Oh yeah,
Upvote it.
Wait,
yeah, they are awful." Trying to like fit in.
probably everybody has to follow something. But anyways, back to the actual artist. I don't know. I feel like we talked about it way more than I was expecting to cover already. Oh, so I'm just gonna see what I can get out of you.
Okay,
What's next?
what's next? So currently I am working on a batch of songs. I said I wasn't going to do any more like albums or EPs, so I was just going to focus on singles. But this batch of songs that I've been coming out with are kind of like more like hip hop and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's kind of like imagine playing GTA, but I do the loading screen music, and it's like hip hop based and stuff.
That'd be cool.
So I don't know exactly what it is. I've just been calling it like crime drama. But I'm kind of working on some stuff with that. And then that's probably going to be the next thing that comes out. And then I have, I don't know how you say it, funk with the PHONK.
Oh, okay.
Someone had asked me to make a funk track. So I made a short about it. And they're like, this is cool. I'm like, this actually is kind of cool. So at some point you'll see a funk track coming out too.
Like I've heard that type of music, and I need to listen to it really quick to
Yeah,
understand
that's
what it
what I'm
actually
just
sounds
pulling
like.
up like the first link that came
Yeah.
on YouTube.
My official description
Oh,
of
okay.
funk is like it's just shitty music.
It's kind of video gamey, but like uwu, but like
Ooh,
hardcore
ooh.
uwu.
Yeah, kind of. It's really like it's like trashy but like cool at the same time.
Yeah, like everybody's probably heard it, but they probably if they're not into that type of stuff, they probably never knew what like category it would fall into.
Yeah.
It's like raspy. Like it sounds the same to me. Like when a person sings with a raspy voice, it feels the same to me. It's like very like it's like scratchy or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's something kind of about it that makes you kind of like feel kind of like uneasy when you hear it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like this is cool, but this is also bad.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just trash music.
Some of the you definitely hear it on TikTok. Like it was a lot of these are probably TikTok sounds.
Yeah, definitely.
like,
and like
Background.
they get on these like Spotify playlists and get like 20 million plays, and you're like, oh, whoa. Which
kinda
is another thing is something that's bad that a lot of young artists don't realize is that going like viral on TikTok and stuff like that is actually probably the worst thing, because sure you get like this huge like flash cache of like influx of like listeners and like royalties and stuff like that, and then never again.
Yeah. I mean, it's the one hit wonder that's always been around.
Yeah, it's the one hit wonder, but I feel like in this day and age, it's like the one hit wonder, and then you're forgotten because tomorrow there's the next one.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Definitely harsher today.
Do you
There's
think,
also
do you
so
think it's
many-
because like there's no way when it's cross posted like that on things like TikTok, there's no like link between the original artist? Like, do you think it's just because people are just throwing it up on a video and you're not involved with like the actual dispersal of the track, and so you're not getting like the recognition? And
That could be it too. I just think a lot of it is that people just don't care, because they see it on TikTok and like, okay, yeah, this is cool, and they might go out enough to go find it on Spotify and save it. But the second that they scroll up on TikTok, it's gone from their
yeah.
from their head.
I think that's we kind of talked about that last podcast. It's just like a big issue with shorts and stuff, like the attention span and
attention span is so bad.
unless like a lot of the people that like you actually recognize from TikTok and stuff like that, and you actually listen to them in a podcast or something, they're like, yeah, I post like 6 to 8 times a day, and that's the only reason because they're putting out so much fucking content. And that's the only reason anybody actually knows like who they are and actually recognizes them is just because they're always there. So if you're just doing a thing here and there and it's just a flash in the pan, you're forgotten pretty quickly. Kind of it's a weird time to try to be growing because you have to use social media. but at the same time,
Yeah.
social media is so bad, and it's
Yeah.
there's nothing good from social media, really.
No, that's a whole other like rabbit hole to go down.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, being a content creator, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, stuff like that. That's where that's purely where I'm going to sit. But I couldn't imagine doing it as an artist, where you're trying to pull people to somewhere else, and like, all right, so here's what you like. Now come and listen to more over here, and actually have to migrate people to different platforms on top of that.
Yeah,
I could only imagine. I don't envy you at all for that.
It's a challenge for sure, because like, you know, I put out those shorts of like the video game remixes, and they do like fairly well, at least for like my standards on the channel. And then I'll put out like something about like something that I made, and the engagement is not nearly as close. So it's just, I mean, that's just like how it is though, because like people are already searching like, you know, video game music, and like, you know, what does the music from Castlevania sound like and stuff like that. And then when I post something, it's like it doesn't get the views. Well, of course it doesn't, because it's like, you know, people aren't wondering what's the next Draze Force song sounding like. At least they're not wondering yet.
One day, Draze Force will be the most searched on YouTube.
You heard it here first.
For sure. You can quote me on that one.
Put that on my website.
Buddyred says. What is you actually have a website?
I did at one point. I took it down because I wanted to redo it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So it'll go on the website in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say what you do have going for you is you put Draze Force in Google, and all it comes up is you. So you got that going for you for sure. That helps a lot.
Good. Yeah, so I can be the arrogant guy that's like, do you know who I am? Google me.
I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, it comes up with you being a music artist and everything, and listening to songs, and I mean, yeah. So you got Google working for you at least. That's cool.
Good.
You can't put that out to somebody's son. Yeah, you're nobody. It's like, you can Google me, sir. Thank you.
Anyway, what else you got on the topic sheet there, Buddyred?
That's it. I ran out of topic sheets a long time ago.
Ran out of paper to write out on your topics? Okay.
Well, that's what I get for not writing topics until 5 minutes before we started talking.
Professionals here, clearly. Thank God you can edit these clips out, right?
I need to fire our assistant, because he ain't doing his job.
I don't think we've paid him in ever.
He gets paid in love. He's not getting any love today.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I can ask a few questions. That's cool.
No, that's not. No, I'm kidding.
So I know Buddyred listens to me a lot. I'm not sure about Covington, but Buddyred, do you have any favorite tracks?
I'm gonna be honest. For whatever reason, I don't know the name of any of your tracks, but the second they came on, I recognized them all.
Okay.
I would say Shadow Band is probably my most recent favorite.
Okay.
And I just haven't listened to the new one enough just to really memorize them all. There was one, I think Phantom Power. Honestly, I think just Phantom Power Volume 1 is probably one of my go-tos if I'm just searching for something. I think just that entire EP is just phenomenal. I don't know why. I can't even tell you why. It's just, that's the one I always go to.
I don't know. Like each Phantom Power kind of has like a different energy to it. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like designed it in a way where it's like, if you play them all back to back, it's kind of like a progression of like, you know, okay, it's like track 1 on volume 2 sounds really good after the last track on volume 1. So that's kind of like how I design it. So if you kind of like line them up as like books on a shelf or like whatever, you can just kind of go through the whole thing. And it's like a journey.
I mean, it definitely works because it's seamless, and I don't ever realize how much I'm listening to half the time while I'm streaming and stuff. Especially like half the time I forget it's even playing. I'm just so used to having it there. And until I get into like a gunfight, and I'm like, why the fuck can't I hear anybody? I'm like, oh, because there's music over everything, and I can't make out the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool to know that you actually like are kind of doing that intentionally, because it's definitely working.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely like, because I mean, they're all made at like different stages in my life, even though they're in the past few years, you're always changing.
Right.
But I think it's fun to like design them in a way where it's like, okay, so, chapter 2 ends this way. Chapter 3 begins like this, almost like an artist writing a book.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're telling a story through your music, even though a lot of your music is purely just it's not any vocals, but you can do it by just the notes and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of fun just to kind of like make new sounds and like develop kind of like a central sound for like an artist. And kind of just like you can kind of almost see like from Phantom Power Volume 1 to Volume 3, like how that sound kind of comes into the way that it is.
Yeah, for sure. How often do you look at your numbers and stuff?
Maybe a few times a week. Lately, I've been looking at my Spotify analytics at least like daily, just because like I've been putting out so much new stuff recently that I'm just kind of like just trying to see like what the trends are.
Right.
And I can't really tell what the trend is, just because it's just like all over the place. So I'm like, whatever. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, like I'm just looking at your top 10 popular, and 3 of them are from the new EP.
Oh wow, okay.
The 2 and 3 is Portal and Power Outage. Number 1 is the August Alternative version.
Yeah, those are no surprises there.
August is a really good. It's a banger.
It's interesting because like that one I think I'm the least proud of.
I
But
feel like a lot of artists say that. Like it's always
Yeah.
like one of like the top 3 songs, and they're like, yeah, I don't know why that one's good, but people like it. So
it's interesting because as you know, and I'm not sure if your listeners know or if any other streamer knows, but I make DMCA free music. So
that's actually really important to put out. I forgot. I completely forgot to mention that.
So I'll kind of give you just like just a little quick crash course on the way how like music copyright works.
Okay.
And why it's so problematic for streamers. Largely because people just don't understand it, because it's just such a huge gray area about things.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, one of my favorite stories is that there was a DJ called Danger Mouse, not Dead Mouse, Danger Mouse, and he made an album called The Gray Album. And what he did was that he took songs from the Beatles' The White Album and Jay-Z's The Black Album, and he mashed them up together. So like he'd be like Jay-Z rapping over the Beatles singing over Jay-Z's beats and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And while both Jay-Z and Paul McCartney were like, yeah, this is awesome. Like it's good to go. Don't worry about it. Record labels are like, no, absolutely not. So it all just comes down to copyright and who owns what. Because in the music industry, especially in the streaming world, the money is coming from royalties, which Spotify is paying less than a fraction of a penny, basically, to artists.
Yeah.
So when you play music on broadcast like that, technically it's considered a public performance, and that accounts for a different type of royalty. But because of the way that it's happening, it can't be accounted for properly. So a lot of major labels and stuff like that, we see strike younger streamers and just streamers in general, because they're playing the Justin Timberlake song for 10,000 viewers.
Right.
If that song got aired on like a TV commercial that got 10,000 views, that's a different type of payday for Justin Timberlake or whatever, or whoever I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where like the trouble comes from. Is it's all because of copyright. And I don't want to call my music copyright free because there is a copyright to it. I own it. And there's copyrights for all music. So if anyone tells you that it's copyright free, it's a lie. There is a copyright to it. However, I'm labeling it as DMCA free because I own the copyright to it, and I don't mind if you use it for streaming. I'm not going to strike you for it.
Right. Your copyright covers you to make sure that you're not plagiarized, but you're willing to let people just listen to it for and share it to others.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like, I mean, since I hold the copyrights, I definitely don't want to be ripped off.
Right.
So I don't want someone making a Draze Force beat and then selling it as their own.
Right.
I've been like, look at this song I made, and then selling it to like Warner Brothers or something like that. I I might win that. I don't know.
Should.
Yeah. I mean, I actually go to like the Library of Congress.gov and like actually register the copyrights. So like I actually have like the paperwork for it. It's crazy. But like it's not like royalty free music because it's, if someone's going to use it in like a movie, let's say, you can't do that. So I just say it's DMCA free for streamers to use on their live streams.
Right. And you're super proactive to when I got a strike because thing that Twitch made a change on, because they're like a weird database, and you were super reactive to that and making sure that got fixed.
So what had happened was that I actually changed music distributors. Sorry. And so I just took my music off of one and put it on the other. And I was like, yeah, I'll put it on all stores. Good to go. But what they did was that they put it in the store that Twitch uses for like the content ID for that. So that's why that was happening. So I actually just sent them an email and was like, hey, can you please take it out of these stores here? And like, yeah, no problem. Because I don't want anybody to, feel like that they're going to get in trouble for using my music. Right. And I don't think anybody should.
Yeah, especially I feel like it's also like, if you're doing it the right way, which I feel like you definitely are, it can really help. Just like, I feel like one of the best ways to grow is just word of mouth as well. And
yeah,
having somebody vouch for your stuff, like, can probably propel things more than like just trying to gamble your luck on seeing if a TikTok blows up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I'm no Harris Heller, so like, right. I don't have the Harris Heller name behind like stream beats that everyone's using. But for me, like when I hear someone using stream beats, I'm like, this kind of all just like sounds the same.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like another thing that I wanted to talk about is like, I feel like especially with Phantom Power, it's all so different that, might be biased, but I actually get happy when people are playing my stuff on stream, because it's like they're actually taking a stance to sound different than other people, and then they're also supporting me as an indie artist too.
Right. Yeah, it's super important. I mean, I think that your passion and just skill in general is going to propel you, and it's just a matter of time, not when or how. It will happen. It's just waiting for that time for somebody big enough to really propel you into the spotlight.
And that kind of brings us back to the whole why August is on my top list when I don't think it's that good. So on Spotify, I can see like the playlist that I get added to, and if they get kind of, so like I can see like, these are the top 5 playlists out of 18, but I can't see all of them. Right. But if the song gets like multiple plays on a playlist, I can see it. And so a streamer put me on a DMCA free Spotify playlist, and they put like my first album on there in August, and they're at the top of that playlist, which is really good. So August just naturally just gets all the plays for it. I'm like, there's other music.
I mean, I can see why you don't probably like August compared to some of your newest stuff and what you probably I don't know, put more time into or feel like it was more skillful maybe. I'm just kind of putting words out there, but I don't know. I still love August. I think August was put there for a reason, even though it might not be your favorite. It's still a really good one.
You know, August kind of actually has a funny story to it. So in college, I took a songwriting class, and so I made the original beat for August in that class.
Okay.
And then I was like, this song is actually like the beat is cool. So I tried to find like other artists that could like collab on it, and we usually got through like one verse, and then they're like, sorry, like I can't do it no more because like they just got busy and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
it's gone through a number of different artists, and then eventually I was like, I'm sick of sitting on this song. I wanna redo it and put it out. So I redid it and I split it into 2 versions. Instead I put it out. And none of those versions are the OG version.
Interesting. Okay.
So the OG version does sit on the demo vault.
Cool. So I kind of thought like the demo vault was just like the stuff that you like were putting out like right before the EP, like what we could laugh. But knowing that there's like so much history, I'm definitely gonna subscribe to that and listen to some of the old stuff.
Yeah, like there's
That's
songs
cool.
that date back to like 2010 all the way up to like now. So there's a huge catalog of songs in there, and I was in the process of moving songs over to YouTube as like a private playlist. So songs are kind of split between YouTube and Dropbox, but a majority of them are still on Dropbox. Okay.
It's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna listen to that then.
And with the demo vault, I recommend not playing those songs on stream.
Okay.
just because of how complicated things can get on it. Right. I would say just don't play them on stream.
Stick to the Spotify.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And the official releases.
Yep.
So anything like 28 official releases from 2018 onwards?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's when the album 3 came out.
You have a bunch of album 3 in your top as well.
Yeah. When I first started streaming on Twitch, was probably around that time. And I had met a ton of people, and I was like, just like, hey, use my music and stuff like that. And a lot of people seem to gravitate towards Portal. Mm-hmm. So I think Portal has like the most plays.
Yeah, Portal's really good too. Honestly, all your music's good, but yeah, I think I don't know. I just listen to it. Yeah, I just honestly just love your music.
Thank you.
But yeah, Cup, you got anything else before we start wrapping it up?
I'm tapped out, man. I'll be honest. I'm still a little sleepy.
Sorry. Well, I think with that, we're gonna start wrapping it up then.
All right.
So thank you so much for doing this, man. I was really excited to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me. I was really happy when I got the message. I was like, dude, this is so cool.
The first official guest of the Unplugged with Buddyred podcast, actually.
Sure. And by far the number one person that I wanted to have on it. I made sure that you were the first, and honestly, I was like, all right, episode 2. I was like, oh, wait, let's not have Draze on yet because I wanted to make sure I had a few podcasts under my belt to
get the
really
kinks
get
out
the
a little
kinks
bit,
and figure out our footing. But I knew that after I was like, I told Cub before we even ever started our first recording, I was like, we're gonna have Draze on as the first person, and I was like, I don't know when it's gonna be, but we're gonna make it work. So.
Awesome. Well, I'm honored. So thank you so much, and I hope that you like your intro music.
Oh yeah, I love it. I think it's in every single one except for episode 3 because I completely forgot to put it in there before I uploaded. I was like, shit. But yeah, I love it, and I'm really happy with it and glad that we have it.
Awesome. Well, if you need anything else in the future,
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
just
gonna.
let me know.
I'll definitely probably reach out again for some type of project or something later on. I need to work on getting some type of YouTube intro going, so I'll probably have you make that as well eventually.
Awesome.
Once I have an idea of what I want. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming on. If anybody's interested, all of his information will be down in the description below. You can find me in my link tree below on twitch.tv/BuddyRed or at youtube.com/BuddyRed for all of my gaming content and currently Fortnite stuff. Please check out Draze. He is super slept on and underrated artist. If you need something to listen to while you're gaming, his music fits the mood perfectly, and it's just a fantastic vibe. And but last but not least, you can also find Covington on Twitter because he won't stream.
You can't find me. You can't find me anywhere.
Twitter.com/@Covington. And maybe one day if he ever buys a new computer where he can stream on, you can find him at twitch.tv/Covington as well.
One day.
Thank you guys for listening. Listen to Draze.